Fresh Baked, you've booked a trip for April, or you're thinking about booking a trip for April at Disneyland, we're gonna help you get ready. We're gonna tell you what the crowds are gonna be like, what the weather's gonna be like, what events are happening, what rides will be closed, this and more, all coming up next on Fresh Baked. Well, Fresh Baked, so you're planning a trip to Disneyland in the month of April. First of all, I should say, well done. Good job. Going to Disneyland in April is perhaps one of the finest months of the year, one of the finest times to go to Disneyland. A lot of people say that they love Disneyland during the holidays, during the Halloween season, or during the Christmas season. They're not incorrect. Those are fantastic times to visit Disneyland. But when it comes to the sheer beauty of the park, seeing the park in its most glorious state, I do feel like April is the best month to visit Disneyland in terms of weather, crowds, ride maintenance, and just seasonal fun. We're going to get into all that, but I want to say up front, excellent choice. I mentioned the weather. Best weather of the year. It's going to be, you're looking at mid to high 70s for the highs, overnight lows in the mid 50s, which is great. Those are both ideal conditions. I looked at the forecast for April, this coming April. No rain on the calendar as of yet. They're not predicting any rain at all for the month of April, but do be prepared. There is such a thing as April showers, even here in Southern California. So I'd still recommend packing a light jacket, something, like a windbreaker type of thing. And it does still get a little chilly at night. But I feel like, for the most part, you're going to have some of the best possible weather you can have at Disneyland. Now, what about those crowds? Well, okay, so the good news with the weather kind of ends with the crowds. I do expect this year, or I should say this season, April, to be, I think we're going to start seeing some bigger crowds heading to the park. I mentioned that for the March crowds, and I think it's going to get progressively more so. It kind of, as we approach the summer season. But you've got a lot of things happening here at Disneyland that's going to draw crowds in. You've got the spring break, obviously. That's the thing that happens every year. You've got Easter, obviously. That's the thing that happens every year. But these are reasons why people come to the park. We're going to get to the Easter situation here in a minute. But more so than anything else, it's the reopening of Toontown. It's the opening of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That is still a thing. That's still happening. Although, good news for those coming to the park, you don't have to worry about virtual queue now for a Runaway Railway. It is standby and lightning lane. And you probably don't even need the lightning lane at this point. Standby waits, as we checked before, and I'll check again right now, 25 minutes right now. 25 minutes on this day, this Tuesday, at about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. That's very, very low. I have to say that's very, very low. So I think you're going to be in good shape for Runaway Railway, but that's a reason why people are coming to the park, to see those things, to experience Runaway, to experience the reopening of Toontown, which will happen on March 19th. It will have been open for just a couple of weeks when March or April comes around. I heard something there. It is. Hi, guys. So I feel like year over year, the April crowds are going to be busier this year than they were last year or the year before. Hopefully I'll have some crowd, examples to show you. But what you're seeing now in this footage is most likely it's going to be a little bit busier than that, I believe. Now let me preface that conversation about crowds with the fact that we're still in sort of it's impossible to tell type situation because most of the references that we have for crowds are pre-COVID. reservation system where they were just letting everybody in. So it's difficult to be certain about whether or not these crowds can hit even a reasonable level of capacity. I will say that Christine McCarthy, Disney CFO, has been on record recently as saying that they're still limiting attendance. They are still not operating at 100% full fire marshal capacity. There are limits in place. She said, even or especially on the busiest days, I think that's how she put it, but I would question that because the only days that I've ever seen it get close or to approximate, a bonkers crowded day is on those holidays, the days that you would expect it to be crowded. Speaking of which, do expect for it to be very busy on Easter Sunday. There's this idea out there that there are certain days where people expect it to be less busy because everybody's staying home. Super Sunday, Easter Sunday, that is not the case. Christmas Day, New Year's Day, not the case. Those are days for people to come to the park. It's the opposite. Those are the super crowded days. So I expect Easter Sunday to be as busy a day as you'll find any time in the month. It will not, for example, look like this scene right here. As a matter of fact, I don't expect any part of April to look like this. This is a fairly slow day here on February 28th. That was a bit of a delight. Jambalaya Jazz Band from the Royal Street Veranda. I didn't know they were doing that. Hopefully when you visit in April, you'll get to see the same thing. That was nice. Let's talk about ride closures because we're here on Tom Sawyer's Island, by the way, to do that because most of the attraction closures can be seen from this island right behind us. Indiana Jones and Tarzan's Treehouse will both be closed, as far as I can tell, for the entire month of April. The calendar only goes as far as the 11th, but it is on this calendar for up until that point, and it's expected to go beyond that. Meanwhile, also right behind me, the French Market, that's going to be closed the entire month of April as well and beyond. They're updating that to become Tiana's Palace. They're retheming that restaurant. Don't have any word yet on the menu, but we do expect it to be changing as well. And there's Tiana as we speak. Well, there's a lot happening out here today, Fresh Baked. This is quite a great day to film an update video. And then right across the river, you can see Big Thunder Mountain, home of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Oh, there she goes right about now. Okay, so she's closing, Big Thunder is, on April 3rd and will be down, as far as I can tell, for a few weeks at least. Again, we can only see until April 11th on the calendar. But my expectation is that it's going to be a couple of weeks. It may return before the end of the month, but we can't say for sure. Don't know actually yet what they're doing, but my suspicion is routine ride maintenance. Oh, and even right here, right beyond the other side of the Mark Twain loading area, that's the Shit the Shore Marketplace. That's where you get your turkey legs. That'll be closed in March as well, as we mentioned before. So far we can see only into or up to April 11th. But I don't expect that to be a major, long time closure. One attraction that will not be closed in April is Splash Mountain. We're still waiting for a date on this. However, as mentioned in previous updates, we don't expect it to be any time before May or June. Most likely we're looking at sometime in the late spring or early summer for Splash Mountain. So do expect to be enjoying that drop right there with those happy guests coming around the bend. Do expect to be able to enjoy this attraction in April. All right, so that's weather, that's crowds, and that is ride closures. Let's talk next about what kind of events are going to be going on during April, which is actually more than a little bit. Obviously, April is Easter season. This year it's going to be on April 9th. And traditionally, Disney does an Easter egg hunt, the Easter extravaganza, which is always a lot of fun. We do these almost every year. They're going to have one. They're going to have 3 separate ones. There'll be one at Disneyland, one at DCA, and then also one at Downtown Disney. All 3 are separate. They're paid for separately. Do the Easter egg hunt. You get a map. It's fun. You get stickers. You go look for, Disney-themed Easter eggs, giant, obvious Easter eggs out in the park. Put the stickers on the map, and then when you're done, you come back and claim your prize, which lately has been just like a Disney-themed plastic Easter egg. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice distraction from your regular day. You can make the Easter egg hunt your adventure for that day, or just sort of mix it in with with the other things that you're doing throughout the day. You don't search for them, but you happen to see it when you put it down, that kind of thing. In either case, do expect to be doing that, although that only runs up until Easter Sunday, so that would be April 9th. I don't believe they'll be doing it after Easter Sunday, so if you're here at the end of the month, don't expect to be able to do the Easter extravaganza. Food and Wine Festival. That's one of many food festivals that Disney hosts throughout the year. Food and Wine Festival is the spring version. It starts in March 3rd, but it runs through March and into April, all the way to April 25th. So you have a very good shot of enjoying the Food and Wine Festival. It's, you get to enjoy these outdoor kiosks that serve food that, food you can't get any other time of year. So it's a really great opportunity to try some new things. If you're at Disneyland a lot and you like to try to find new things, Food and Wine is where it's at. You've got the food kiosks. They do live shows. They do stuff at the Paradise Garden, and usually out there in the bay that overlooks World of Color. Cooking seminars, mixology seminars. They've got all kinds of stuff that are going on, and for quite a long time. So I highly recommend taking advantage of Food and Wine Festival if you get the opportunity. And for some, one of the great side benefits of the Food and Wine Festival is that each of the past few years, and including this year, that's your chance to ride Soarin' over California, not Soarin' around the world. During Food and Wine Festival, I don't know why, but they decide that's when they're gonna convert it back to the original attraction, Soarin' over California. So if you're a fan of that and not a fan of Soarin' around the world, there's your opportunity as well. Another great event in April is the Spring Dapper Day event, one day out of the month, April 16th. The Sunday, April 16th, will be Dapper Day. Actually, I take that back. It's kind of the whole weekend. It's here for the 15th and the 16th. So if you come on a Saturday, you're going to meet and see plenty of people dressed in dapper, and you are welcome to be dapperly dressed as well. Matter of fact, the Dapper Day Expo, which is a lot of fun. Although I think it's a little different. I didn't get to go last year, but it's a little different now than it used to be. So I might have to follow up on that this year. But Dapper Day Expo runs on April 15th and April 16th. You can find that at the convention hall in downtown, or at the Disneyland Hotel. If you want or need more information about Dapper Day, there is a link in the description for the Dapper Day website. They'll give you all the other information that you might need to enjoy that event. I recommend going because it's a great opportunity for people to kind of be and see each other as the best of themselves. You get to dress fun, you get to do fun things. They always do these traditional photo opportunities at King Arthur Carousel and the Mark Twain. Being on the Mark Twain during Dapper Day is an experience in and of itself, as is obviously King Arthur Carousel. So I do recommend, if you get a chance, to visit the parks during Dapper Day. Well, I was talking about things that will be happening this year, Easter and Food and Wine Festival. I found myself at the backside of Fantasyland by Small World. So I thought we would take a quick run into Toontown to listen to that cool loop that they've got in here. I love this new music that they have plugged into Toontown, but I want to check in on Runaway Railway. I want to see if that 25 minutes is held up, because the weather has gotten, it's nice out. It's certainly not a situation where the weather's keeping people away from Runaway Railway. It's a very lovely day. A little chilly, but I mean, it's been nice. No rain, no clouds, hardly any clouds, I should say. No queue out here. No queue out here. No extended queue, which is the one we got into the queue the first day of standby right here at that pillar, that column. And it says, I don't think you can see it, but it says 40 minutes. 40 minutes. It was about 10 minutes to the door. Means it would need to be, okay, this is already not 40 minutes. Because it took us, I want to say 6 or 7 minutes to get in here from the door. And the total wait was 50, so that makes it 43. There's no way. I'm just walking until we stop. This is not even 40 minutes. I think that's the back of the queue right there. Are we going to ride Runaway Railway while I do this update? Yep, there's the back. Probably closer to 25 or 30 at this point, I think. Looks like we're also saving 7 minutes or so by not having to use that extended queue outside.
I must have hit that track switch! Now, let's kayak!
Well, I did go through the whole queue. I did ride it again. I did enjoy it again. I love this ride. 21 minutes total. 21 minutes to our vehicle. 40 minutes posted, 21 to the actual vehicle. The wait time I just checked on the way out is now saying it's 30 minutes. And again, it's a lovely day. A lovely day. And yes, you will be able to catch Magic Happens twice daily. During the month of April, for all time, until further notice. Showtime, 3:30 and 6:30 p.m. I think it's not, so far it hasn't been too difficult to find a spot. You don't have to camp super early for this. Hour or two maybe. If you want a good spot, you know, it's not that bad. While we're at it, we can talk about the 100th anniversary. This is another thing that's still ongoing. It will be for the rest of the year. Showtimes are typical. Fantastic is 9 to 10:30. Fireworks are at 9:30. World of Color 1, 9 and 10:15 p.m. Merlin is doing his thing back there. I tell you what, he might be the best part of this parade. Look at him! Look at him! I love Merlin. And I think that's everything happening this April 2023 at the Disneyland Resort. If you are looking to book a trip to Disneyland, obviously use GetAwayToday. There's a link in the description. They are fantastic folks. We're going to be, they sponsor our show, and they host us on a lot of events. We're going to be hosted again this week. They're hosting us here at Disneyland for food and wine, and for at Universal for some hotel tours. We love GetAwayToday. Very nice people, very helpful, very knowledgeable. We met a bunch of them at Walt Disney World, and they know their stuff. My gosh, especially, I mean, they've only been doing Walt Disney World for a little while, and they know everything. So, if you're looking to book a trip in April or at any other point, either here at Disneyland or at Walt Disney World or Universal, you name it, they go there. Use the link in the description below. And chase your dreams. That's what they're saying. Can you see her? There you go. There's Cinderella. I love this parade. I hope you guys watch this parade. Take a minute to catch this parade while you're here. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBake, on Twitter at FreshBakeDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakeDisney. If you like our show and want to show you support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBake. Otherwise, thanks again for watching. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe, be kind, and fresh baked. Magic, and it's happening right here at Disneyland. And look, that's not bad.